Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Seth Swanson after his 4th place finish at the Ultra-Trail du Mont-Blanc. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, what a race.
I know, it was a pretty awesome day.
You've run some, obviously you've crushed Western States in a couple years, and you've run some mountain hundreds sort of in line with that with Cascade Crest and nothing like this.
I don't know if I'd go as far as saying in line, but yeah, it certainly is a little bit more pitched than maybe Western, but this isn't a class all of its own, from at least from what I've experienced.
Wait, you experienced all of it, so
yeah. It was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Was the race in line with sort of your expectations?
It's tough. It's tough to come here almost completely blind, and I was telling Narelle that as soon as we landed in Chamonix, I was thinking, I'm not prepared for this. I mean, everything is big, everything is super steep, and yeah, so it was tough.
So you felt maybe a little intimidated before the race?
Oh, yeah, there was some lingering things, there's that period of time of tapering or whatnot where you just get a little bit of self-doubt, you're not running as much, just mind has time to, wander a little bit, so there's always a little bit of self-doubt, but then, you throw in these just like huge, massive climbs, and
Were you able to get any training in, or much training between Western States and UTMB?
Yeah. I mean, I certainly could have benefited from more. It's tough to, try to manage and balance, recovering and then building back up and do it in a smart fashion, and then all the, things that go with life as well. But so I had a little bit of time off after Western. We took some time and did some camping up the coast, and then kind of slowly started to ramp things back up. And I mean, in one aspect, thankfully, it was a totally different course that, it's just nice mentally not to be doing the same regimen that I was doing for Western.
So you did take a pretty different approach to...
Absolutely, yeah.
Since you were obviously in quite good fitness, did you just pound the mountains?
What we have around home, Missoula, it's, there's some, a little bit of pitch coming out of town, but, it's nothing that, really sustained. I mean, 2,000-3,000 feet most. But yeah, I just tried to concentrate on the steeper things, and worry less about going fast, and worry more about packing in less effort if I could. And, I still don't think I did enough, but yeah.
So you're on the start line. There's the countdown.
Yeah.
There's the music.
It's like a half-hour long countdown. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
And it's not easy to relax during that time.
No.
Nothing like you've ever experienced.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, first of all, the 6 p.m. start time was tough all day. Just, it's one thing to wake up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. You only have an hour to get ready, and then you're off. But this just kind of festering all day long, just trying to keep the nerves down, and and it was, so when we got to the start line, just kind of sitting in there, everybody's packed in, nerves are racing, and wondering, am I just going to get trampled by all these people? And there's sticks everywhere, and but then once we got started, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought.
Okay.
I just had this nightmare of getting trampled. Yeah, it's being trampled by turtles. this slow moving pack over you, but. Yeah.
But you, they go out here. They go out hard.
Oh yeah.
Did it feel like going out on the road at like Lake Sonoma or something? Just that.
It was pretty quick, but I did kind of expect that, and from what I've heard, and so just I was probably going at a faster pace than I normally would have, but it was good just to kind of get some space from the crowd and kind of break things up a little bit. So I, a little excited too, so it's good.
The first time I saw you was about 20 miles in at Lake Contamine.
Yeah.
And you just, none of that emotion or excitement or fatigue, anything. You were just like so calm. And like, because there's a group of like 7 guys off the front just pounding it. And you just kind of ran in, and was that how you felt at that point?
I had some tummy issues off the start, and it was kind of rough for the first bit.
Really?
But I think by then just shook that out, and I was kind of feeling the groove, and I was feeling pretty good, and yeah, just having fun. I mean, those going through those aid stations, it's like this huge party. I mean, St. Gervais is like this. You thought you were crossing the finish line. You go through. There's the big arch and music blasting, and people are yelling and screaming. They're lining the streets. It's like, well, this is just an aid station. I'll be out in 30 seconds, but they didn't care.
It's the biggest
awesome.
Street party you probably ever go to unless you're at like Mardi Gras.
Yeah, totally. And it was great. And that was, probably one of my favorite things about the solo experience was just all the people. It was so.
And the next town you come into, the next big town, is Courmayeur.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people. It's like middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then you come into the
2-3 a.m. Yeah.
aid station, and your wife's there.
Yep.
And like everybody, all the other crews are upstairs. She's downstairs alone, and you're just like, "How are you?"
Yeah. Well, it was 3 a.m. or just shy of 3, so it's already a long day for her.
Yeah.
And we had some. We weren't really quite sure how she was going to get around the mountain, and so there's a little bit of anxiety there. But and yeah, so it's a big day for her as well, just to keep me going.
But
so.
it's rare that you see somebody that's so, everybody happy to see their crew, and you gave them a nice kiss on your way out, but you were so cognizant of how she was doing, as opposed to your needs in the moment.
Yeah, I keep it pretty simple. I mean,
yeah.
I don't, gather many, material things from her, in terms of food and, hydration, nutrition, but so yeah, I think it's more the mental component that, she really supports.
You had made up some ground by the time you got to Courmayeur, and you kept moving up. Did it feel good to kind of be catching people?
Yeah, but, I don't know if I was really catching them or if they were just dropping
out, yeah.
Yeah. But, it felt good, and it felt good that I was feeling good, and I was moving pretty well, and I was trying to stay calm and not get too wrapped up in that. And the night was pretty good. It was tough. It was just humid and warm.
Was it?
All night long. So it never really cooled off.
When did you catch Luis Alberto to move into second place?
Well, coming into Champex, it was. I think I heard that I was 4 minutes back. I'd kind of been hearing that for a little bit, and leaving that aid station, there he was, just 100 meters ahead of me, and so I just kind of slowly kept pace with him, and then got around the lake, and before we hopped on the trail, I was caught up to him and jumped in front of him, and up that first climb there, and then we kind of just yo-yoed back and forth for a while. And
when you went by, you just caught him with such authority, looking at splits as you're going along, that it just seemed like you were going to go flying by him. But that's not how it went.
No, it wasn't at all. When that the climb going to Champex, I was hurting. That's where the pain really started, and I knew I had those 4 just huge climbs, and I'm already fatigued, and it's going to get hot, and so, they were progressively worse and worse, and slower, going up and down, and so I think I definitely slowed down there. I think, maybe some more, prep in advance, knowing what you're really getting into would have helped in that area, but
those are the reports we were getting from at the fair along the course. We were hearing that you, when you were yo-yoing with Luis Alberto, he was crushing the descents and passing you on those.
Super strong.
But that you were the one working the climbs.
I was feeling good in the climbs. Just going slow and steady. It was nothing fancy.
Okay.
And
you weren't sprinting up the mountain.
No, absolutely not. I don't think there's any sprinting involved there until the last 2 miles. But I was moving fine. Like I said, nothing fancy. But he was just flying down those downhills, and my legs knees were just trashed, and I just couldn't move as agile as he could.
Gotcha.
He was really strong.
We were hearing at the finish that you were almost sort of weaving on the trail late in the race. Did the heat ever really get to you, or is that just hyperbole from folks along the course?
Oh, it definitely got to me. I don't know that I was weaving on the trail.
Okay.
I was just trying to show off for the crowds.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm joking. I don't really.
No, you never really lost control or anything.
No. But it was really, really tough. The heat. I dried out every stop and was dipping in sketchy creeks. We'd see cows above, and it's like, well, I guess I'd rather get sick in 2 weeks than sick now. And so, I did what I could to stay hydrated. It just wasn't enough. I didn't come here expecting that. Not like, it's been plenty hot back home this summer, but it really took a lot out of me, and to the point where those last few climbs, it was really tough to take down food too, some gels, just because it was so dehydrated.
Yeah.
It's like nothing was really working.
So Luis Alberto eventually sort of started pulling away from you a little bit. But then David Laney comes out of nowhere. Were you hearing reports that he was...
No. So the last climb out of Col de Monet there, I caught him. There was like a little footpath leading into that, and I caught him right at the base of the climb and stepped in front and was leading up the first part of that climb. And then he pulled away and was, had a few minutes on me, but I pretty much had him in sight. And it's just like a relentless, endless climb. You think you get to the top, and it keeps rolling up. And I finally got to Flagier up there, and I was peeked over my shoulder because it's kind of that long way around, and to see if anybody was behind. And someone tells me 30 minutes. And so, and I'd heard some other reports, and I think Luis, I thought he was maybe 5 or more ahead of me.
Yeah.
And so eventually I was like, okay, I'm just gonna run this last 8K in, just take it in, not beat myself up anymore.
Do the conservative approach, just cross the line at third.
And it's a huge day already, and just to take it in, enjoy it, just kind of savor the moment a bit. And then a couple switchbacks down, this guy, whatever, some hiker that says hello, and then hear him say hello again, and I look up, it's Dave Laney, and he just comes right up, and from there I hit the gas too, and was going as fast as I could, and then I tripped and went down, had a little tumble, and he stopped and asked if I was all right, and I said, just you gotta go, man, just go, you got it. And so I got out, picked up some things fell out of my pack, gathered my senses, and then I was off as fast as I could right behind him, and he by then had 20-30 seconds on me. I was kept that distance. I don't think that Chalet de Flores has ever seen people run through it so fast. And then he just held that gap on me all the way into town, and by the time we got into town and through the cattle corral there, whatever you call it, it was his, and I couldn't get it, so I just
did you ever
savored the last little bit,
Did you ever see Luis Alberto again ahead of you? Because in the end, it wasn't that far.
No, I did, but it's in the forest. There's switchbacks and things like that, and so. But
you got to savor a little bit.
Yeah.
Was it like
a little bit?
Here?
It's like my hands are all bloody. So I was like,
Yeah, Luis is coming up to you at the finish, like to give you a handshake, and you're like.
Yeah, I went down in my hands, and so I was, instead of giving high fives, it's like, well, fist bump the crowd, and it's a wreck. But it was good, and it's racing, it's competitive, and that's what it's all about. And looking back, I should have, no matter what I heard, I should have just, stayed strong and pushed it to the end. But it's the way it goes.
So you learned something for next time.
Yeah, but David had an incredible finish to that race. At one point, I think I was just kind of looking through some things from the day, and I saw somewhere that he was like 80 minutes back, and he ate that up. And pretty impressive.
He was just flying that whole second half.
Yeah, so hats off to that guy. That was pretty awesome.
But you had one heck of a race out there.
It's fun.
Proud of that one?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a good battle to the finish, and a little added bonus battle I could have done without, but it's cool.
Might you be battling back here next year?
You know, I would definitely like to come back here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such an amazing place, and we were here just 10 days total. So we got here last Saturday evening, and it would have been nice to have a little bit more time in front of that, so we could have explored some more of the trails and the area without just totally beating myself up. It's really that restraint here. It's really tough moderation.
Yeah, it's Claymanian American.
Yeah, good food and amazing trails, and it's like, oh well, we went there, and yeah. And just looking at maps and all these beautiful places with refuges with good coffee. It's tucked away. It's pretty awesome.
Unfortunately, you got to see 170K of trails. Yesterday.
That's true, but 90% of my view is like right here.
How was the night?
Oh,
besides the humidity, but
it was fantastic. It was awesome. It was a full moon, and just kind of lit up the whole landscape, and you could see it was like casting shadows. It was so bright. I contemplated killing my headlamp at times, but I thought better of that. But it was such a great night, and really the conditions were pretty awesome.
Does this round out your season?
For now, I got take some downtime. It's it was a hard summer, so take a little time and rest and recover, and get back to life, and all that is involved there.
With taking second in states and fourth here, you're in a pretty good spot in the Ultra-Trail World Tour rankings. Those are two huge point races. Any urge to jump into Fuji or Diagonal de Fou to round out the season?
Yeah, those are my options. So, what is Fuji's in less than a month? A month?
That's a month. 4 weeks.
Okay. And then 7 weeks is
Diagonal.
Yeah, and that race is probably more brutal than this.
Yes, from what I hear.
So I think there's a good answer. It's probably not happening.
All right.
I wish I could, but it wouldn't be good for anything.
No. So. Well, congratulations on your performance here.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy it.
Thanks.
All right, Seth. A bonus question for you.
Trivia.
Missoula's got a damn good reputation at this race. Got a second from Footy. We got some third from Wolf. Second was Wolf.
Yep.
You got Foot has finished
Foot,
third.
I think his first year he was first American.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
And we got a fourth.
I think his second year, this is trivia, I'm not very good at this stuff. Maybe his second year he was second.
Yeah.
Second. Third year? Yeah.
Foot got a second year?
I think so.
All right.
I think it was.
Let's work this out.
I think it was the abbreviated course, maybe.
So the important point is.
And then
we got is there a fifth?
Yep. And then
I think Foot has a fifth in there.
Fifth too.
So who's going to be the first Missoulian to win UTMB? There's a lot of top five experience.
I suggested that Foot yesterday that Wolf and I come back next year. So that'd be pretty
battle
fun.
for Oh, did I share an all Missoula podium prediction for next year?
That would be pretty ambitious, but
that would be
a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks. Go back to Missoula and have some fun with those guys.